As you can hear the beeps, people in the chat, we are getting into another quarterfinals match. Again, the winner of this series moves on to face Arrogfire.
Yeah, and interestingly, we are moving on to Moondance. And in a PvP, there are some disgusting things that I've seen that a Protoss can do on this map.
Oh, yeah. Very dirty things, very unnatural things, if you will. But we'll see. We'll see if that happens in this series, because spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondancer ESL, we have, representing Team NV, the South Korean Protoss, it is NightMare.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it is a Korean Protoss in the blue. Playing for Team Super Korea, it is Chance. There's no Forge yet. It's okay.
There's no Forge. Unfortunately, because of the pathing of Moondance, there is an obstruction in the middle of the map, so the probes do not kiss in the middle. Feels bad. No love.
No love on this map, but maybe these two they are eloping, but they will never reach each other.
Oh god.
No.
Oh!
Tag. You're it.
They do tase each other a little bit, you know, the sparks of an early romance blooming between them. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
keep going. Keep going.
If you keep going long enough, you're going to get one of those Artosis fanfics going. It's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful.
You might eventually say something that makes sense. Go, 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 go.
True. But outside of this, you know, we are entering that lovely part of PvP that we all adore, and that is, of course, the 2-gate opening here, going into our first 2 units. What are they going to be?
2 Adepts.
Oh! Oh.
Alright, I'll leave. I'll show myself this way.
We have a double Stalker opening coming out here from NightMare and a Stalker Sentry from Chance.
Yeah, so nice standard safe opening from Chance. We're not seeing anything too crazy so far. The one really disgusting thing that I did see on this map already is if you do a proxy Stargate in that back base behind the main, you can actually put batteries in range of the main mineral line.
Oh my god.
It's really disgusting. I saw Trigger did it against Beyond in the Open Cup, and I'm scarred. I didn't need to see that.
Oh my, I was about to ask, where did you see that? Trigger versus Beyond, that sounds about right. That is horrifying.
Yeah. So I would expect to see stuff like that in the future. In fact, I'm probably going to off-race and do it myself.
You are a disgusting human being. Oh my god, I like how you say off-race as if it's not becoming your main race.
Yeah. It might be. My MMR might sit past if that's what I'm doing.
Not like this, puppy. Not like this. I was gonna say, if as a Terran player, upon seeing that, is this just a straight up veto? Are you?
I've got to veto the Zerg maps. I can't let the Zerg maps out.
Oh god, shaking my head. There's only one Zerg map. What are you talking about? Cosmic Sapphire. What else?
Yeah. They're all Zerg maps.
They're all Zerg maps, he says. Meanwhile, Chance, sorry, a little bit slow there to respond. He isn't able to wall off the Adepts. I'm gonna get into the main base.
Yeah, something a little bit different. Does go for the 2 Adepts after opening with the 2 Stalkers and gets 3 probes for his trouble. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice damage behind this. He did go for a Stargate opening. We do have the first Oracle zooming towards the natural base. We do have a shield battery, but again, not really in range to help protect that mineral line. So Chance looking a little bit exposed, but thankfully he has a couple of Stalkers here to respond. He was able to scout earlier with his hallucination that there was a Stargate.
Yeah, the Stalkers dance for a small period of time and then they get a bit tired, so they just relax and they stand in the mineral line. And we'll be ready, but there is another prong of this attack going in with the Adepts and the Stalkers at the same time, trying to distract and make space for these oracles.
Yeah, this is terrifying. We have double oracle, which one-shots workers already. Meanwhile, we don't have a wall on top of the ramp, so a couple of adepts are going to be able to shade into the main base.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a Noah's Ark attack coming out here from NightMare with the 2 Oracles, the 2 Stalkers, the 2 Adepts, and he does pick up 8 probes already.
Yeah, exactly. Not just probes. If he wanted to, he's going for the sentries.
Yeah, beautiful micro there. Does take out the sentry, gets both of the Oracles out alive, does get the Stalkers out as well, sends them back home, and this is quite the lead for NightMare.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice control there with that tri-pronged attack. And now Chance, he's down a little bit in the workers. He's forced to fall back here defensively. What he does have going for him is we do have Blink on the way, much faster compared to his opponent. And once we do have Blink, maybe he can move out. The problem is that because there are 2 Oracles still alive, he has to keep Stalkers in his mineral lines.
Yeah, we can see how important it is that NightMare did manage to keep those Oracles alive. And he does get a few more probes as well as keeping these Stalkers pinned back, but meanwhile, Chance is beginning to poke out on the other side of the map.
Oh, exactly. He's going to be able to force a delay on this third base, gets a cancel on a pylon as well. He doesn't have enough Stalkers to really break in and really pressure that natural base, but you know, he's poking, he's prodding, he's testing the waters, may even get a shield battery. Oh my god.
Yeah, he does take out the shield battery, and NightMare just biding his time until his Blink finishes, until the Oracle comes back home. Does lose the Stalker as well.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. It looked like NightMare was a little bit paranoid that maybe there was going to be a Blink into his main base, so he split up his own army. Meanwhile, here we go. Chance is coming across that with everything he has, and he does have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, very good trades for Chance so far. The Blink only just finishing up for NightMare now, but he has lost a lot of Stalkers, and he has no battery here in the natural.
Yeah, if you recall, he lost his battery earlier, and he never replenished it. He never replaced it, and now the Stalkers of Chance are getting a little bit out of control. We just see the boys being pulled. They will get a surround on that sentry. NightMare barely holding, and there we go. He finally throws down a backup shield battery.
Yeah, he does take out that sentry, does manage to throw down the stasis trap, but it is seen and triggered with the Blink. Very nice piece of skill there from Chance. And his Stalkers are very low, NightMare, so this is quite dangerous already. 2 Stalkers going down and the Oracle.
Oh, nice snipes there by Chance, but the biggest problem is this. He doesn't have a reinforcement point. He doesn't have a warp prism. He doesn't have a pylon either. He has to warp in and walk across the map from back home. So instead, he expands behind this. He is looking to transition.
Yeah, a little bit of the sting being taken out without the warp prism. I believe he doesn't even have a robo yet. The robo just starting up now, but we also see charge and +1 starting up well ahead of the timing for NightMare, so he will have a little bit of an advantage when those do finish, but NightMare at the same time picking up so many Stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where we have a lot in the way for Chance, but will it even matter? Because NightMare, he just shuts down all of this aggression behind this. He could just go across the map. Thankfully for Chance, there we go. NightMare also doesn't have a robo of his own. He cannot reinforce. He's also trying to catch up in those upgrades.
Yeah, so we do see the charge and +1 starting significantly behind for NightMare, but at the same time, he does still enjoy a little bit of an economic advantage.
Yeah, not just when it comes to the worker count, but also the base itself. We've kind of mentioned this before, but this is kind of like a half base or like a 70% base. Like, there aren't a lot of mineral patches here. There's only 1 gas geyser, so even though Chance was able to get this base up and running, it's nowhere near as valuable as the base that NightMare has.
Yeah, so he is going for the extra base here already, so a little bit ahead considering the start for Chance. I do quite like the position that he's got himself into. So he did quite a bit with that Blink pressure, definitely trading well with the Stalkers at the front there, and does already start his +2 well ahead of the +1 of NightMare.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can make use of this. I love it. Immediately he does go for that Warp Prism. Now he can go across the map and make use of this massive window that he has, where he has +1, he has charge, he has the numbers, he has the aggression. Can he make use of it though? Because for the time being, he's still chilling here back at home, and he's allowing NightMare to get another base up and running. Again, still avoiding that pocket base.
Yeah, both players preparing the 4th. NightMare as well, going for the Dark Shrine.
Ooh. Yeah, looking to be a little bit cheeky here. Maybe a way to be able to come back in this game. We already have some detection here for Chance, but there is only 1 observer out on the map, so it's going to be a little bit difficult being where he needs to be. And instead of going for a head-on push, Chance wants to go for a little bit of multi-pro.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate with the move-out timing with NightMare. Didn't quite have the vision on the map, or is choosing himself to go for the base trade, but the robo depowered immediately by Chance. But meanwhile, NightMare straight into the mineral line.
Exactly. Chance was a little bit indecisive there. He was thinking about maybe backing off, but now he's going to go all the way into the natural, as you were saying. The War Prism was sniped here by the Stalkers of Chance, so he can't by NightMare, so he can't reinforce across the map.
Yeah, meanwhile, NightMare getting straight into the main. Doesn't have a War Prism of his own on the other side of the map, but he is a little bit ahead already in this base trade, getting into so many mineral lines all at once.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, we have defensive DTs. Thankfully, we have detection here for Chance, so he's not going to be caught out by those DTs. He's going to be able to depower and shut down everything in the main base as well. But we still have mining. To be fair, we have mining from both players, just a little bit more from the side of NightMare.
Yeah, going straight for the pylons and probably going to look to get rid of that DT train as well. Invisible units can be really useful in a base trade as the options for detection get lowered. We do see he has taken out that DT shrine already.
Yeah, exactly. Bearing in mind that, never mind. I thought Chance had finished +2, but the Forge was taken out. Likewise, NightMare will also not get +2 either, as it is depowered. And, Chance is getting knocked down to 1 base. NightMare still has 2 Nexi up and running.
Yep, +2 denied for both players. More gateways coming down from NightMare already. We do see Chance starting up a Dark Shrine. That will be a little bit of a problem for NightMare. I don't believe he has any observers out on the map.
Ooh, quickly checking here. He has 1 observer with his last standing base here. But, I mean, that could even get sniped. We do see an observer here offensively by Chance. And there's honestly not much here, but we see a recall.
Yeah, NightMare realizing that he has to recall to protect his base. Chance already getting a lot more protection up at his base at home. And I do like this position for NightMare. Did manage to save a lot more of his probes, is a little bit up on supply, but Chance realizing this, looking for an attack of his own.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of force fields are thrown down as well. Gonna make it awkward here for Chance to break on in. He does have the higher Stalker count, so even though he has less supply, a lot of that supply for NightMare is in these Zealots.
Yeah, looking at a very awkward fight here. NightMare trying not to lose too many of these Zealots and get kited back by the Stalkers, but not looking to fully commit to the fight just yet.
Oh, exactly. Meanwhile, Chance is trying to rotate around here. Looking at his vision, he is aware of the final mining base of NightMare. He knows where he needs to go to try and win this game. Both players are still mining. We still have that Dark Shrine not really coming into play yet, but we could see that Observer sniped. Oh,
yeah, and he does look for the Observer, and the Observer has been sniped, and there is no robo for NightMare, so Chance does have a win condition now, but he is starting to lose this fight to the Stalkers.
Oh, exactly. In the end, he is going to be able to shut down every single one of these Zealots, but he now does not have the Stalker count. NightMare is going to come across the map. Where are those DTs? We need the puppy. We need them. He needs gas.
At the same time, though, I love this from NightMare, recognizing the danger of losing his observers. He has preempted and immediately got a cannon up, and GG is called.
GG gets called. Chance goes in with his observer. He sees the cannon. He knows that DTs will no longer end the game, and he taps out.
Yeah, GG is called, but I want to say that was a promising game in some ways for Chance. The start of the game was pretty disastrous. He went down around, I think it was 6 probes, which is in a mirror matchup. Pretty bad for the player going down that many workers that early in the game. Can be something that's very hard to come back from. And one of the ways you can come back from it is forcing one of these base trade situations. And really, the game was pretty close considering.
Yeah, it was insanely close, to be honest. Like, there's a world where if he had, Chance had saved a couple more workers, if his economy was a little bit better, then maybe there's a world where when he snipes that observer, he actually has a DT ready to go in, and maybe he's able to deal that crippling blow before a cannon gets up and running from the side of NightMare. So, like, there was a lot going on there. There was a lot that could have been really close. Oh, one insane game 1 already between these two players.
Yeah, very exciting game 1. And for game 2, for the first time today, we are on Data Under the Sea.
Shaking my head. And here we go.
You go.
Okay. Spawning. Were you about to sing? Were you?
No.
Okay. Spawning in the right-hand side of data under the sea.
Let's go.
Let's go. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team Super, currently down in the series, but not out, not yet. It is Chance.
Okay, so now I have to be the respectful, polite one and use the full name. Spawning in the bottom left of ESL, Dare to See. It is playing for Team NV, the Korean Protoss. Spawning in the blue, it is NightMare.
Oh god. What have we done?
Under the sea.
We did get confirmation, by the way, that I was wrong initially. No, units do float on this map. We are under the sea.
Let's go. We are under the sea.
You can see the particles floating up. You know, we got seaweed all over the place. We're
That's
back.
where Ariel was, mate. She was chilling. Big chilling.
Big chillin', mate. Big chillin' right here in StarCraft. Let's go. Oh god. I don't know if you know this, but there are some maps that have like little Easter eggs every now and then. It would be nice if there was like maybe like a Sebastian crab or something hiding somewhere.
That would be very cool. That would also be... I don't know if Blizzard... I know Blizzard have already had a few problems this year. I'm not sure if a lawsuit from Disney is something they're looking to get involved with.
Oh god, I don't know what it is.
We found him.
We found him.
Found him, puppy. Don't tell Disney.
Don't tell Disney. Not like this. Oh god. But Chance, as both players do go for their low ground walls, as of course we do have a ramp coming into the natural bases, Chance being a little bit cheeky, does get a pylon out here. Unfortunately, a fake proxy.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit different openings coming out from both players. NightMare did go for the one gate expand, which is what we usually see on these ramp maps, but Chance opting for the 2 gate expand. So, well, I do say that, but it is a 1 gate expand without the expand.
Yeah, instead of the expand, the Madman NightMare, he didn't even, typically if you delay your expansion like this, it's for a Stargate, but NightMare switches gears entirely and he went for a Robo.
Yeah, possibly playing a little bit of a mind game here. I did see that Chance was starting to try to block the natural of NightMare, but NightMare is going for a very aggressive play of his own already.
Yeah, exactly. But here we go. Chance is going across the map with a hallucination. He did open up with a sentry. And I love that instead of the typical Phoenix, it is an Oracle instead. So maybe trying to fake out his opponent a little bit. With this, he confirms, hold up, there's no natural. And oh my god, there's an Immortal.
Yeah, fantastic scout there. Sees no natural, sees the Immortal, sees the battery in the main, sees all the buildings. Honestly, Protoss has map hacks, man.
It's
crazy.
It's a pretty good race. He sees everything what there is to see. So now we should be seeing some defenses at home. There we go. A second shield battery gets thrown out. Did you know that Protoss also has an overcharge? That means that nothing dies.
Hey, this is how you make friends with Zerg players. You just go, look at that Protoss, huh? Pretty crazy, huh?
he's cracked, mate. He's cracked. Oh my god. But here we go. NightMare, he is undeterred. To be fair, behind this, he did throw down a Nexus, so he can transition eventually, you know, if he has a strong enough economy, if he deals enough damage. Oh, as he's still coming out across the map.
Like, do you get a bit triggered when they switch colors halfway through a series?
I don't notice that stuff. I'm a Zerg player.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Do you see? Does that mean you see in black and white? You're an animal, man.
I'm an ape, mate. I'm an ape. Aye.
Yeah, meanwhile, great force fields in there, trapping all the sentries of NightMare, but NightMare quickly picking up and getting all his sentries out before they can be sniped down, and he's done a lot of damage already.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we had a little bit of maybe an accidental cancel there from NightMare. It did force some of those reinforcements to be a little bit delayed. Meanwhile, Overcharge is going to keep the Stalker alive, but it just doesn't die, puppy.
Overcharge is insane. You are right. But meanwhile, this is a lot of pressure. These 2 gateways already getting very low. Second battery does finish up in the back here for Chance, but this is a lot of pressure coming out already, and the sentry is trapped and taken down. That's a big deal to lose one of these sentries.
Yeah, exactly. Sentry does go down. Meanwhile, if these gateways falls, that's the majority of the production here from Chance. And there we go. Both of them do end up falling. Only a single gateway remaining here for Chance. Only one unit can be walked in at a time. But we do see, ooh, the Immortal gets focused down.
Yeah, beautiful force field there. Does manage to take out Sentry and an Immortal, and that will put an end to this attack for now. And Blink is finished, so we will see a little bit of counter pressure coming out from Chance already.
Yeah, exactly. Chance, he's down in the workers, but he is up when it comes to the Stalkers. Let's go. Back at home, NightMare, he's getting his own shield battery up and running. Only a single shield battery, though. And we'll see if Chance can get anything done here. Quickly checking, does he have a sentry? No, he does not. He does not have a way to gain high ground vision and go into the main base.
Yeah, and we do have an Immortal finishing up for NightMare here. We do have also the battery finishing up in range for the supercharge. So it does look like he will be fine for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Chance, he checks the main base, sorry, checks the natural, tests the water a little bit, but he knows that he can't really find too much damage here. He's going to try and chip away at the gateway if he can, but behind this, he knows that he needs to do something else. He has no map control, so let's take our third.
Yeah, taking the third, getting charged as well, so we will have quite an advantage when it comes to the tech. At the same time, Blink is starting up for NightMare, and he does have a little bit of an economic advantage from the earlier base that he had, but overall this game's starting to look very even for both players.
Oh yeah. The biggest difference is that Immortal count. The Immortal count can be a scary thing, and you can hit a timing, definitely, even without Blink. As we can see, a couple of Stalkers already being lost here from the side of Chance. He has to be careful. He has to respect those Immortals. Ooh, meanwhile, NightMare, he's not going to take this line down. He wants to be aggressive across the map and deal some damage.
Yeah, a little bit of awkward pathing from the Stalkers, and that critter running across there, I thought that was a Zergling. Like, what?
You're like, Papi,
he's got Zerglings.
I'm casting a PvP and I still see Zerg, Papi. I still see them.
Can't get away from them. Nice little poke there from the Stalkers.
Sebastian, Papi. It's Sebastian. Oh, God.
Wonder does he?
I wonder if anyone else has made that connection. You know, I'd like to think maybe like Loka or someone. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. If
I have a feeling I got it from somewhere else, but I have no idea where. So I'm just gonna claim it as mine until I find out.
Oh God, it was hidden in the recesses of your mind. You just kept that away for a while. Oh God.
Circling it's better. Here with disruptors, take it from me. And Steel Mod's got the lyrics already.
True.
Go.
I'm not looking forward to this Friday.
Oh no.
Alright, well, as things have been progressing, oh my God, I kind of love this from NightMare. NightMare did not stop Immortal production. This madman has 4 Immortals. He could be working on 5 after this. And he is looking to just crush across the map. Not just with this army, but he's even got Glaive Adepts behind this.
Yeah, really cool here. So one of the things in PvP that does help deal with the Immortals is having a lot of Zealots. The Zealots do really well against the Immortals and against the Stalkers as well. But you can see with these batteries, 3 fully charged batteries here, he's quite prepared for any counter pressure. And the Adepts with the Glaives, when it does finish, will do really well against those Zealots.
Yeah, exactly. Not just Zealots, but also Stalkers themselves aren't that great against Adepts. It takes a lot of hits to kill an Adept, mate. It's just such an awkward interaction. But before that happens, a massive warp in here into the main base of NightMare.
Yeah, huge Zealot warp in at a really awkward time for NightMare to defend, but he does manage to get some of the Stalkers in position, and meanwhile, the Immortals and the batteries defending on this side.
Yeah, very solid force fields here for NightMare. He's going to be able to hold the line for the time being. A little bit of awkward pathing as well from the side of NightMare. Meanwhile, all the Zealots in the main base have been cleaned up.
Yeah, cleans up the main, and there's force fields left, right, everywhere, but he does manage to keep all 4 Immortals alive.
Exactly, they will not die. The War Prism backs the hell up. It did survive, bear that in mind. So if Chance wanted to, he could maybe try and go for a multi-prong attack again. But for the time being, it looks like Chance has lost a little bit too much. He will back off.
Yeah, pretty significant supply difference in the favor of NightMare at the end of that fight. It's starting to even up a little bit more now, but with those 4 Immortals, that represents a lot of power in the tech that could be used for a push very soon.
Oh, it really can be. Behind this NightMare, he's not stopping. He's throwing down a second robo and a robotics bay. It looks like he wants to get into disruptor production. But before that happens, Warp Prism sneaks in again. But can it survive?
Yeah, very close to sniping that Warp Prism and does manage to clean up these Zealots without too much trouble. So he will be aware now as well that the Warp Prism is there, and he's happy just to take a defensive posture for now.
Exactly. We see both players expanding, taking their fourth bases here. Chance a little bit faster with his own, but he needs it to be faster as he has to catch up in that probe count. I do worry though, because it doesn't look like he's looking to tech up into disruptors anytime soon. Like, he is a little bit behind in that tech.
Yeah, so a little bit different paths coming out from each player. We do see Chance going into the Archons, but meanwhile, NightMare not investing too much in any Zealots or Adepts or anything like that, actually going into the Disruptors himself, but a little bit of a timing here for Chance to get in.
Is it a timing though? Because the Nova goes off, it will not connect though with those Zealots. That was only one Disruptor though, a second one is about to come out.
Yeah, the second Disruptor is out, but it is all the way at the back of that army, so there's a long time for that Nova to travel through. But at the same time, these Stalkers are chunking through the army of Chance.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Those Immortals are still alive from earlier in the game. It looks like NightMare has lost one in total, but only one, and now he can move out across the map. He kept his Disruptors alive, the Immortals, everything, and now he's going for a massive counterattack.
Yeah, even making that fourth Immortal again. Seems like 4 is the magic number.
Oh, exactly. 4 is all you need. Meanwhile, Chance, he's trying to go for his own robotic space. He wants to catch up. He wants to get into his own disruptors, but I don't know if he can survive long enough for that to happen.
Yeah, this force coming in from NightMare does look very difficult to deal with, and with that Nova just pushing aside the Stalkers, taking out a few probes as well. Looks like this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah, GG gets called. NightMare will take the series 2-0 under the sea.
Very good. I'm so proud of you, like.
Awful. Just awful. Oh god. GG, well played. He will be moving on to those semi-finals to face Arrowfire.
Yeah, another PvP down the line for NightMare. Meanwhile, at the top of the bracket, Demi still waiting for the winner between Art and Lunacy, the last remaining non-Protoss in the round of 4.
Oh yeah, the final one, the final Zerg player. Oh boy. So we'll eventually get into that, but of course we do have our first semifinals ready for us. Before that though, I do also want to give a bit of a shout out to Chance, because Chance, he did really well for himself, even though he did get 2-0'd, especially game number 1. Could have gone either way. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a world out there where we did go to the ace match. We did go all the way to game 3. So I hope he's not feeling too sad about his loss. It was a really impressive showing against NightMare.
Yeah, absolutely. Chance showing his quality in those games, more than keeping up with NightMare. They were very close games, especially through the mid games, and definitely showing his quality as a player. And he is quite a mainstay of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. So if you want to see more of him, I'm sure he will be back in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, he will return. Oh boy. But for the time being, we're going to be following NightMare into his next series. Into his series where he took down a Korean Protoss, and now he goes up against a European Protoss.